Not only did this habit allow him to refine a second nascent soul, but he even publicly took an entire mountain away with him. As we all know, loose cultivators are extremely poor compared to sect disciples. They not only have no access to the cultivation resources provided by sects, but also can't even guarantee their own safety. Even after Han Li became the supreme elder of the Luyun sect, this inherent caution and strict control over resources were still deeply rooted in him. Shortly after Han Li formed his nascent soul back then, to fulfill the promise he had made earlier, he wasted no time in heading to the Fu family, ready to wipe out the entire Fu clan to avenge Shinruin. On his way, he accidentally encountered the Supreme Wood Nascent Soul that had escaped from the Yulin sect. This Supreme Wood Nascent Soul was no ordinary item. It was one of the 5 elements souls carefully nurtured by the Yulin sect. Any core formation stage cultivator who obtained it could directly break through to the nascent soul stage without going through years of arduous cultivation. It was a treasure coveted by everyone in the cultivation world. However, the Yulin sect failed to protect this treasure, and instead, Han Li stumbled upon it by chance. Relying on the restraining power of the evil warding Divine Thunder, Han Li easily captured the Supreme Wood Nascent Soul. After Han Li fulfilled his promise to avenge Shinruin by wiping out the entire Fu family, he unexpectedly obtained the Zuanyang Soul Transformation method in Shinruin's former residence. Looking at the Supreme Wood Nascent Soul in his hand, Han Li had a bold idea to use it to refine a second nascent soul. Once he made up his mind, he immediately set about preparing, and surprisingly, he succeeded in refining the second nascent soul. Later, he let the second nascent soul practice the Zuanyan scripture obtained from Venerable Zhuanggu, while also controlling the Ghost Luo banner and the Blood Demon sword of the Yinluo sect. In this way, the demon cultivator version of Han Li was born, and Han Li's strength doubled, gaining a hidden powerful trump card. Later, when the Mulan people and Tianan broke out in a border war, Han Li made a deal with Wei Wuya, who was at the late nascent soul stage, and Venerable Xiang. He exchanged the turtle demon's shell for a small section of the profound heavenly immortal vine, which looked unremarkable and even a bit withered. This was a legendary immortal vine that had existed since the creation of the world, definitely a heaven-defying spiritual object. Unfortunately, the profound heavenly immortal vine was in a withered state at that time, and the cultivators in the human world had limited knowledge, so they couldn't recognize its value at all. This once again gave Han Li the opportunity to pick up a treasure by chance. After obtaining the profound heavenly immortal vine, Han Li immediately took out his secret weapon, the little green bottle, and watered the profound heavenly immortal vine with it for hundreds of years. Finally, this spiritual object regained its vitality and successfully bloomed and bore fruit. The value of this profound heavenly immortal vine was fully revealed after Han Li entered the spirit world. It helped Han Li obtain the profound heavenly slaying spirit sword, which ranked 3rd on the Chaos 10,000 Spirits list. This sword contained terrifying power of the law of destruction, and more importantly, it had a master protecting function after recognizing its owner. It saved Han Li's life several times in dangerous situations and became one of his life-saving magical treasures. When Han Li was at the middle nascent soul stage, he participated in the most brutal Kunwu Mountain dungeon in the human world. In this dungeon, ordinary nascent soul cultivators were like cannon fodder. If they were a little careless, they would lose their lives immediately. Han Li was well aware of the danger of the dungeon and acted cautiously throughout, but he still encountered his old enemy Qian Laomo, the great elder of the Yinluo sect, while searching for treasures. At first, both of them were eyeing the treasures in the dungeon, so they temporarily reached a tacit understanding of not interfering with each other and did not take action immediately. When the time was right, Han Li released the late nascent soul stage puppet he had collected, and joined forces with the level 10 monster Gi Ling. Together, they successfully killed Qian Laomo. After killing Qian Laomo, Han Li naturally wouldn't let go of his storage bag. After some searching, he obtained Qian Laomo's natal magical treasure, the 5 Children United Heart Demon. This 5 Children United Heart Demon was no ordinary magical treasure. It could be called the #1 demonic treasure in the human world. Its refining method was extremely cruel. It required 5 complete corpses of nascent soul stage cultivators as demonic embryos, and then the corpses had to be repeatedly watered with a large amount of cultivator's essence and blood for more than 100 years before it could be refined. Later, when Han Li fought against Liu Dao Jisheng, the #1 expert in the demonic path in the Chaos Star Sea, he took out the 5 Children United Heart Demon. Although Liu Dao Jisheng was extremely ruthless, he was scared out of his wits the moment he saw this demonic treasure. He clearly knew that he couldn't withstand the power of this demonic treasure at all. Later, Han Li refined the 5 Children United Heart Demon again, making it one of his most powerful attack methods. The Kunwu Mountain Dungeon could be called Han Li's treasure trove. In addition to the 5 children united heart demon, he also picked up the 8 spirit ruler and the black wind flag by chance. Both of these treasures had an important function, suppressing the split soul of the Xianxia. Among them, the 8 spirit ruler was a heavenly penetrating spiritual treasure used by the 3 elders of Kunwu to suppress the bone demon back then, and its ability was extremely powerful. It could not only freeze the enemy's body but also freeze the enemy's magical treasures, and it had a great suppressive effect on demonic path cultivators. Unfortunately, later when Han Li sneaked into the spirit world, he encountered a crisis. To save his life, he had to self-detonate the 8 spirit ruler and use its power to gain a glimmer of hope for survival. The Black Wind Flag, on the other hand, was an extremely rare space-type treasure with amazing defensive power. However, the Black Wind Flag was mostly burned down in many battles, but Han Li never wasted anything valuable. He found the Ghost Luo banner of the Yin Luo sect and used it as the foundation to refine the Black Wind Flag again. Finally, he transformed it into a brand new space treasure, the Red Soul banner. The ability of this Red Soul banner far surpassed that of the Black Wind Flag. What was most shocking was that Han Li even used the Red Soul banner to take away the Yuan Magnetic Divine Mountain that the Xingguang twin sages had given him. At that time, Lin Yeling, who witnessed this scene with her own eyes, was almost stunned. She never thought that there would be such a powerful treasure in the world. Moreover, the Yuan Magnetic Divine Mountain was of great help to Han Li. With it, Han Li's cultivation speed increased rapidly, even far exceeding that of those cultivators with heavenly spiritual roots. After entering the spirit world, the Yuan Magnetic Divine Mountain even made Han Li's strength soar instantly, fundamentally solving the problem of his slow cultivation speed that had plagued him for a long time, and laying a solid foundation for his subsequent breakthrough to higher realms. From avenging after forming his nascent soul, to capturing the Supreme Wood nascent soul to refine a second nascent soul, and then to gaining a lot in the Kunwu Mountain Dungeon, every step Han Li took was steady and full of surprises. Behind his seemingly trash-collecting behavior was his keen grasp of opportunities, his accurate judgment of his own strength, and even more so, that caution and perseverance that were deeply rooted in his bones.